it's clear. How my baby's running this a block cause you fear what you do to you if you get dirty hands and veneer. What you do, what she is, little boy, I tell you this. If baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. If baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you? She would put you in the bag, yeah. Wouldn't even need a planet. If she wanted, she a magnet. They should let her name a planet. Everything she drop like Corona, viral. Make the world start over like I own her. She ain't about to set, but they really wanna throne her. Listen, she like bass, she like Hover. Self-employed, moving paper better than some Billy Boy. Made a choice on the regular, she bring a milli home. Click my phone, get my ass up, get a dinner going. Watch she out there, making sure that you all know. Baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and not cute. If you said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you? She be always making money. If it's raining, if it's sunny, she make time to call me honey every day. Drop a couple bands on the cook, then he pay. Then a couple more on the tip, baby saves. That is just the everyday, imagine holiday. If I get the 50 cents, she get me holidays. Signing with the fly, if you meet her, know it's true. So if she ever asks you, you know that baby wants sit, she can sit. If baby says lit, it's lit. Got your bank account and not cute. If she said it loud, it's the truth. If baby wanna ride, she can ride. Baby needs some time, she got time. Got your bank account and not cute. She can make it count, how about you?
I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil, taking me out of this world. I'ma go all the way up. Nice guy with a cold shoulder. You be cool, but I don't know you. Roll a flower when I'm off the potion. Give me superpowers and I won't stop to the bank roll on supermassive. Big bank for the space chatter. Way up in a squad NASA. Copperfield with the dark magic. Subtle flex when I run a race. Tell these rap buddies eat my dust. Lil baddie after cellular. Talking life and I we set it up. I'm a sharpshooter, yeah, Will Smith. Call me Prince Park, let me freshen up. Bay boy on the level up. Way up near the nebulas. I'm never copping a chain, cause I see it all through the frames. And I leave it all on the pages. Feeling like they want me locked in a cage. They want us all on the fade, but I'ma go all the way A with it, cause I don't feel all the way safe here. Yeah, spray the champagne, shower up in the air. Stunner goggles, I don't mess with the flu. Untamed and she wild off the goose. Ghost ride, yeah, I come through the roof. Ducking 12, yeah, they all on my tail. Hella wild and I break all the rules. Chill, chill, bro, you way out of line. Yeah, I know it's a mood. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil, she taking me out of this world, so I'ma go all the way up. Got the squinting, got the spinning, I'm outrageous with it, going crazy with it. Got the phrase jumping off the page, gifted, got the waves swishing, got the neighbors tripping, got the trap booming, jumping out the speakers, drip on me, jumping off the easel. Gold wristed, couldn't tell me nothing. Nah, bought a fist dude. Cooking the bars, turn a lab into a living kitchen. Watch them grimace when I water whip it. Subtle flexing, live a candid image. Come from pushing in the S-type with no license, gas low, the windows tinted. Still couldn't see me with the zoom on your little vision. Nah, we are not the same, we got different lenses. No one snapping like we something real vivid, keep it realistic. Quick to split it with my day ones. Got the label making bank runs, cause a train of thought like a freight, huh? I'm the type to get a late start, you the type to be afraid, huh? I'm the type to never have things, you the type to have it made, huh? Yeah, wave, and I keep fueling the flame, huh? How they got me going this hard, really I'm the type to never say much. Vice grip, got the game clutch, every song make the stage rush. I always said making money might change things, but never let it make us. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud, but I'ma go all the way up. Bad girl from the soil. She taking me out of this world. I'ma go
all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. I'ma go all the way up. They keep on calling my phone. They catching on to the buzz. I got it out of the mud. I'ma go all the way up. Y'all hit up with a dream, hold it down for my team. I'm afraid of how I'm feeling, I get higher than the ceiling. How I'm feeling, higher than the ceiling. I've been living like I'm past rules. In this where I tap to, living like I'm finished.
Wait, louder. Bitch, I'ma go all the way up. Wait.
Nah, no, yeah. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No, yeah. I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No. See, we was cool right before it hit the fence, but it hit the fan when I got him down at the bench. When I took a break, I had to leave and go get cleansed. God forgive me for all my sins. I can't say these cause my last name ain't Ken. Cooking on the stove, that's the way he paid the rent. Working on the pole, that's the way she paid tuition. Better watch your soul, cause you know they trying to get it. Yeah. I learned my right from wrong on the song. I let my heart bleed on my sleeve through microphones. I'm trying to right my wrongs by writing out my wrongs. Ran through a check, cause it's hard to live off bread alone. So if you see me slipping, yeah, let me know. Cause it ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. Yeah, I need my space to breathe, that's why I be going ghost. I ain't trying to stay up on that wide road, cause I can't let him take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No. I can't let him take my soul. No. Oh, I can't let him take my soul. No. They thinking I'm bluffing, but I promise I do it. That K got a drum, like murder and booming. Sending you verb, if I get my little Uzi. They thinking I'm crazy, I'm gon' see you the haters. People I'm saying, get what I'm painting. A picture big, I call it little baby. If I'm on the board, then we playing chess. If you on my way, you gon' need a vest. Act big, you might get stretched. All your gun talk, I ain't impressed. My 45 seem real traffic. That's Dallas, Texas. My little partner called a body for a Maserati. He told him get about the car, hit him with the shotty. That 12 gauge, gave him life in the 12th grade. I tried to write him, but we ain't on the same page. I caught him slipping, I just had to let him know. It ain't the end of times yet, I know, but it's getting close. These demons really out to get you, so you better guard your post. There's certain things I could probably let go, but I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. Oh, I can't let them take my soul. Nah, no. I can't let them take my soul.
Baby, I see you hanging with your friends, chillin', day and night for days on end. Now you can't come see me tonight. Say you ain't got the time. I'm the last one you prioritize. Peeping your IG pictures on my phone. I won't spend another night at home. Okay, I'ma just be on my way. You'll see I'm not the one you take for granted, babe. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for I used to wonder why, but now I'm left with no more tears to cry. I know that life can be busy, love, but you make time for the ones you love. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know? If you want me the way I want you, put your all into all that you do. It's only right, it's what I deserve. Love, tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Did your mind go on vacation, leaving your affection for me at home? Tell me what you done for me, done for me, done for me, done for me lately. Where's your heart and your attention? Where's the kind of love that I used to know?
In this moment,
Yes,
I cannot say what's wrong or right.
no,
It's not hard to fool me,
no.
'cause I'm addicted to the good life.
Yes,
Yeah, lead the way, I follow. No need to say
no.
where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all, to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find no better one. Yeah, susceptible now, before the moment flies. Ooh, so tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Ooh, susceptible now, before the moment flies. It's not a problem,
No,
'cause I know what I'm getting into.
yes,
Yeah, and nothing can stop me,
no.
'cause I'm addicted to what you and I realize. Lead the way, I follow. No need to say where we are heading now, babe. I follow to the edge of it all. So tell your good lies, 'cause I'll find a better one. Yeah,
If only you could see me now. If only you could tell me why you disappeared, you made me cry. So don't come back.
You are now tuning in to TNJ Radio Show. What's cracking? What's cracking?
What's good? What's good?
Leave that on there. I'm gonna play another one record. You know, we got a big show today, man. We're gonna get a few people on here. We're gonna chop it up. What was that? Let me get that off. Our clone was on there.
I thought we was in the mirror universe or something.
That was the clone. Hey, I wouldn't mind sitting back like a Tesla and let that clone do the show. I watch.
Yeah, just so y'all know, this guy's crazy. He talking about buying a Tesla and going to sleep in it.
Look, let me tell you something. You gotta move with the times, man. I will sit back, put that little little thing on your eyes. I even put some cucumbers on there and be knocked out to my next destination. Try me.
Man,
That's on my bucket list now. Shout out to my homie Chaz. I know his sister has a Tesla, and he was stunting up on the videos, all up in the videos. You know what I'm saying? And now I want one.
But you'd really go to sleep in one of them
I will
things.
go to sleep like no tomorrow. Matter of fact, I got a CPAP machine. I will plug that CPAP machine in and just.
Oh man, put a one in the chat if you got a Tesla. I actually put 1 million because you probably got a little bit of money.
Man, let me tell you something. I'm jumping with the times now, man. I ain't playing around. I'm getting me a Tesla, and I ain't driving no more. Parking the car. Shoot, I will take that L. And if it goes, it crash, my family will be taken care of. I'll tell you that.
You saw some of them crashes, man. The whole front of the car was gone. It was like up under a truck. I don't know about all that, man.
What's the difference? The Tesla driving or your wife? I mean, come on, dog. You can't sleep with your wife driving.
Yeah, point there.
You know what I'm saying? Might as well take the risk, man. Shoot.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to get you in trouble. I'll just say a guy I know who may or may not be me. I know when he sleeps, when his wife is driving, it look like you got to grab the bar and everything.
Man, listen, I don't go to sleep for a lot of people when they drive on road trips. I be just like this, like, and when it start drifting, I grab the wheel. Like, hold on, you good? You be pulling me like this? I don't go to sleep. Shoot, not even when the bus driver. Well, when we used to go, on bus trips back in high school. You know what I'm saying? We go to Cleveland. I would go to sleep then. Bus drivers, I don't know why I trust them, but randoms, nah. Like my daughter driving or my son, nah. I'm staying up, man. Nah, we ain't doing that. I grab the wheel. I'd be like, you ever be in the passenger seat, like moving the brake, like there's a brake over there?
Yeah.
All the time, huh?
Yep. Hitting the brakes for your life.
Shout out to Swanee.
Swanee G in the check now. What's good?
What'd he say? Still got me a hoopty. Fall asleep all the time in it. Hey, man, those are the best ones. That old time smell. You know what I'm saying? And then if it goes too fast, the wheels start shaking.
Yeah. Wake you up from the potholes. He up here in Pittsburgh, so you know how it is up here. We got
driving there.
Craters. We got roads that fall down. We got buses falling in sinkholes. We got bridges collapsing. We got it all up here in Pittsburgh.
I ain't used to that now. The roads is good, but like I said, certain times of the year when them tornadoes and hurricanes come, you be on They call me the weatherman here because I always got it on my phone. I don't play that. I will drive right up north. You think I'm playing? Matter of fact, that did happen one time. To be honest, I think I said this on one of the previous shows. Man, that category. I think it was a category 5. It was coming through not Pensacola, but Panama City.
Mm.
And I was looking at that thing because, like, it's a shame that you pray to God, right? You pray to God for somebody else to get hurt, not you. Put a one in the comment if you ever done that. So what I'm saying is, I wanted when the storm was coming from like the Caribbean, I always wanted to go either towards New Orleans or go out, to the right of Florida. You know what I mean? But if it goes to the left, it curves back and it's like direct to me.
Man.
And so it was going towards Panama City, and I'm like, oh, hold on. So I stayed up all night. You know what I'm saying? And then as soon as I hit a category 5, I woke everybody up like, we getting the heck out of here.
Mm.
So when I got in the car, got some gas. We was up Atlanta for like 7 days, man. 7 days. And then because it's not even about the storm, because I don't have a lot of trees by my house. I did that purposely. I don't have a lot of trees just for that reason because, up in Albany, man, they had a tornado and people dying in their sleep, the tree falling on their house, And it's when the lights go out, and I didn't have a generator at the time. You know what I mean? And you got kids here. See, I can deal with the heat. Not my kids, man.
So you didn't have the kit, the whole hurricane kit.
No, I had the food and all that, but I ain't have the generator.
Man. Yeah, that's a whole different lifestyle, man. I guess y'all used to it.
They have hurricane parties down here, man. They don't play that, man. They be out there in the rain.
Hurricane party?
Hurricane parties. They have hurricane parties.
What do you do in that?
Party. They have a bunch of food, and just party.
Oh man, y'all crazy down there.
I mean, shoot, that's them though. I ain't never been in a party. I'd be like, hey, they be like, you want to go to hurricane party? I'm like, I'll pass on that one.
Man.
Yeah, what's going on with you, man?
Well, I'm celebrating almost about to be another year around the sun in a couple hours, man. So I'm out here just drinking a beer.
Root beer,
IBC.
Hey, man, you better cover that up unless they're gonna pay us.
Well, that didn't say IBC. It said, please pay me.
Speaking of that, man, we're gonna get to your birthday in a minute. Right now, like, share, comment. Right now, definitely hit them likes up for us, if you will. Make sure you get the comments jumping today if you're gonna, watch the show. And let's just hit our sponsors real quick.
Mm-hmm.
1 second. Got it.
Worrying about a legal problem like a consumer issue, medical bill, real estate transaction, landlord-renter dispute, traffic ticket, or estate planning? Legal issues are a part of life, but that doesn't make handling them any less confusing, frustrating, devastating, or even crushing. And lawyers are expensive. There's a better way. Legal Shield gives you advice and counsel from reputable lawyers near you. Our caring and dedicated law firms can help you with a wide range of legal matters, all for less than $1 a day. Protecting and empowering you with a law firm in the palm of your hand. The Legal Shield mobile app can help you begin preparing your will. Take pictures of a traffic ticket and securely submit it directly to your law firm and speak to a lawyer with just the press of a button. Or call 24/7, 365 in an emergency. Legal Shield protects over 1.8 million households in all 50 states, plus Canada, liberating our clients from legal frustration.
If you want more information, hit us with the email. We'll put the email in the chat. One of our sponsors. Yeah, but so back to your birthday, man. What you getting into on your birthday?
I don't really know. It's going to be up in the air. I'm not in charge of that.
You ain't have a say so.
I gotta say so, but if I say something, I'm gonna just say, just give me $3,000 and let me do me.
Well, what you should have said it. See,
Well,
if you don't request it, what they're gonna do is they're gonna take you to some place with a big stuffed animal with a dude in it, and they're gonna give you some cake. You're gonna be at a Chuck E. Cheese or something like that, or
well,
they're gonna give you some socks and a old tire that you want to use.
I'll put the request in after I get that Tesla.
Okay, gotcha. What we talking about today?
Man, lots going on. Now, one of the things we want to talk about the real reason for the DL Hughley Kanye hate. There's a lot going on in the background. Want to talk about, is discrimination a good thing? Who out here got money? When you get money, who changes? We're going to talk a little bit about the language takeover that's going on. Hypocrisy at the left. It's getting exposed. So go where you want to go first.
Well, first off, just give me 1 second. I got to put something up on the screen. Doobie doobie doo. Do you know where that commercial came from? Doobie doobie doo. Remember that?
Is that Sinatra?
I don't know what it was, but it was a Penguin. It was a Budweiser commercial, and the always came in the road. It's like in the 90s. It was like doobie doobie doo.
Man,
I'm dating myself.
I remember hearing the commercial before, but I just never really got it.
It's just for the drunk, man. We get it. Hold on, let me can we make this bigger? Can we make that bigger?
Let me see.
No, I wanted that. So small. But anyway, only person we gonna really talk to is like Swanee want to get into this. Swanee. But we want to get the cash app up to at least $100. If we can get the cash app to $100, we'll drop the link down there. That's what we're gonna do today. So yeah, so well, first off, man, I'm gonna put this on the video because we're gonna start this off right, man. I want to talk about what's going on in Florida with DeSantis and the bill, the no, what is it, no gay bill saying? So
Say gay.
Don't say gay bill. I want to talk about that bill, and I'm going to talk about Disney walking out. Disney. Now, I remember you brought it to my attention this week. You brought it to my attention that Buzz Lightyear was kissing another man. Tell me about that.
Yeah, so we have the upcoming movie Lightyear, which is a continuation, or it might be a prequel. I don't know how it's set up, but it's based on Buzz Lightyear. And initially, they had a scene where there were two same-sex people kissing, and eventually they decided to take it out. I don't know if some people spoke up, but then there was a outcry to put it back in. Now, here's the interesting thing about that. A lot of times when they say there's an outcry, it's not that many people. It's just the vocal minority, because there's more people that don't agree with that stuff than do.
Well, the outcry was with the employees there. It was the Disney employees.
Yeah. So I don't know why they wanted to be in there. Honestly, I don't know why in a kids movie anyone has to be kissing. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's like what are you trying to do?
It's called recruiting.
What are they recruiting for?
The P word. Pedophilia. Man. Let me get some graphics. Pedophilia, man.
Yeah. Let me just put that on the let me see if I can put that up there.
Put what up there?
Nope.
Leave the money on. I'm gonna play this video though. We're gonna go through this video and kind of dissect it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Morning to express our disappointment and concern that if legislation becomes law, it could be used to unfairly target gay, lesbian, non-binary, and transgender kids and families.
Chapek first apologized for not speaking out sooner against the Don't Say Gay bill, and then said he called the governor to take a stance against it, particularly as an advocate for his LGBTQ plus employees. He says they had a, quote, extraordinary conversation, and there are plans for him to meet the governor with some of his LGBTQ cast members in the future.
He was very open to this conversation and finding out what aspects are most concerning and working to ensure that that could not happen in the state of Florida with this legislation.
The governor's office released a statement confirming the governor spoke with Bob Chapek, and the governor's position has not changed.
So here's what I can tell you. In the state of Florida, we are not going to allow them to inject transgenderism into kindergarten. First graders shouldn't have woke gender ideology imposed in their curriculums, and that is what we're standing for, because we're standing for the kids and we're standing for the parents. And I can tell you this, the chance that I am going to back down from my commitment to students and back down from my commitment to parents' rights simply because of fraudulent media narratives or pressure from woke corporations, the chances of that are zero. And when you have companies that have made a fortune off being family friendly and catering to families and young kids, they should understand that parents of young kids do not want this injected into their kids' kindergarten classroom. They do not want their first graders to go and being told that they can choose an opposite gender. That is not appropriate for those kids. And so if you're family friendly, understand the parents who are actually raising families want to have their rights respected. And I also think that if you have companies like a Disney that are going to say and criticize parents' rights, they're going to criticize the fact that we don't want transgenderism in kindergarten and first grade classrooms, if that's the hill that they're going to die on, then how do they possibly explain lining their pockets with their relationship from the Communist Party of China? Because that's what they do, and they make a fortune, and they don't say a word about the really brutal practices that you see over there at the hands of the CCP. And so in Florida, our policy is going to be based on the best interest of Florida citizens, not on the musing of corporations.
So right here, this is when Disney employees decided to walk out. I think it was yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
So this is them walking out.
Legislation happening in Florida and across.
So right here, unless you got something to say, I'm gonna keep going. But right here, this is ESPN woke ESPN commentators on here promoting this walkout and doing stand themselves. So I don't know if you guys saw this, but check this out.
other states as well that are targeting our LGBTQI plus communities. Many of our colleagues here at ESPN have planned and organized a walkout that will be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And to be honest with you, we thought we were going to come here today and really celebrate a sport that has meant so much and done so much, including for so many in the LGBTQI plus communities. But we understand the gravity of this legislation and also how it is affecting so many families across this country. And because of that, our allyship is going to take a front seat. And with that, we're going to pause in solidarity.
Might die or something?
Courtney Lyle, Carolyn Peck. Now, normally at this time, we would take a look back at the first half, but there are things bigger than basketball that need to be addressed at this time. Our friends, our family, our co-workers, the players and coaches.
Thank Obama for this. This is all because of Obama. Those things that he put in place.
In our community are hurting right now. And at 3 o'clock, about 8 minutes ago, our LGBTQIA plus teammates at Disney asked for our solidarity and support.
Hold on, man. They adding letters to this too. Like, I thought it was LGBT with Q. What is the I in that? What did she say?
They say plus, but the plus could be a P and the P could be something else.
Facts. But listen what she said. She said she added 2 letters to this.
Community are hurting right now. And at 3 o'clock, about 8 minutes ago, our LGBTQIA plus teammates.
What is IA? Whatever. It's nothing important.
At Disney asked for our solidarity and support, including our company's support in opposition to the parental rights in education bill in the state of Florida and similar legislation across the United States.
And a threat to any human rights is a threat to all human rights. And at this time, Courtney and I, we're going to take a pause from our broadcast.
It's just interesting how they're using the same energy that they use with the Black Civil Rights Movement, and they're connecting their movement to this for a something like when you're Black, you can't choose to be anything else, but you're choosing to do this. You know what I mean? It's a choice.
Right. And you know what else? It seems like, for Black people who want to be pro-Black, they can't just be Black. They got to take everything else that comes along with it.
Right. Right.
As to show our love and support for our friends, our families, and our colleagues.
Good morning, everyone.
It took 6 days for.
Now, this is deep. For the people who didn't see this, there was the same time they're doing this, there was a prostitution sting that happened.
Before you play this, about that walkout, that it was a small minority. It was so small. You know how many people work at Disney? There's like almost 200,000 people that work there. So they probably had like in that little walk, that little march or whatever, probably like 100 people. No momentum.
That 100 people though, because they have the law behind them, that's like 200,000 people. You know what I mean? Like Obama put so many businesses in fear because of what he put in place. So it's the power of the pen. So it doesn't matter if it's one or 30. You know what I mean? Like they have to listen to this, because like the CEO of Disney, he didn't even want to say anything. They forced him to do it, because the media.
Well, that's why it's important for what DeSantis is doing. He's taking the side of parents, and like I said, there's more one side than the other. It just looks different. But that power of the pen, that's definitely something. So that state, they're getting to work. But unfortunately, I don't know about other states if they're going to follow suit or not.
And DeSantis did not write the bill. He did not write the bill. He actually just read it himself. You know what I mean? The legislators write the bill. That's what, for anyone out there, you got to focus on the legislators in your city. Down here, well, not here per se in Georgia, but like in Florida, everybody goes up to Tallahassee because that's where the Capitol buildings are. There, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
And every so often they'll go up there and have their signs and sit there and try to move and shake, and that's where the deals are done. You know what I mean with the legislators. Hold on, I'm trying to play it.
The sheriff's office to find 108 people trying to buy or sell sex in Polk County.
Then there's Xavier Jackson. He's 27.
He is accused of sending sexual images to someone he thought was a 14-year-old girl.
Oh, did I mention that he just happens to be a lifeguard at the Polynesian Resort for Disney? You think there's a few children around there?
Right there. Out of the 108 people that got caught, 4 of those people were Disney employees. What's your thought on that, man?
Well, I can't help but think that Disney. All right, Disney is the place where the most kids come through. Like, there's no other place like that. Chuck E. Cheese don't see what Disney see in a day in a year. So Disney has the park, Disney has the movies, Disney has the cartoons, Disney has the sports, Disney has the Hulu and all of that. And I think back to a few years ago when I had saw some videos where they were talking about a lot of innuendos that were in a lot of Disney movies. And you can go ahead and look it up, just look up Disney and you could just type in a certain private part and you'll be able to see what I'm talking about. I'm not going to put the link or anything like that, but you'll see it. And a lot of drawings, that stuff is in there. And it's done on purpose because it plants these things to get the mental images to kids. So when you're at that park, right, and you're the lifeguard, supposedly saving people and things like that, but you may, get information from a kid. That kid might disappear. Disney has a lot of different like back doors and tunnels and things like that. So to have employees there who are engaging in this, that's crazy. And for them to walk out in support of, activity that a lot of times psychologists have found this out. Criminal investigators have found out that a lot of times certain activities are linked. So you can put it together, but we gotta like really take, heed to this.
Yeah, and a lot of kids are disappearing down here. Atlanta, Georgia, and Florida is like one of the top states of sex trafficking. With young minors. So that's something to watch right there. But just to have this is not on CNN news. They're not talking about this.
Sheriff Grady
Lisa?
Nah, son, I wonder why.
Right.
Judd identified several other Disney employees accused of soliciting a prostitute.
This is the Honorable Daniel Peters.
Sheriff Judd said Peters is a retired judge from Cook County, Illinois, who thought he was meeting up with an escort.
He said, quote, "I've been on the other side of this." Well, I'd like to ask him today, so which side do you like best?
In one case, detectives had to reschedule a meeting. The sheriff says Bradenton's Seth Phillips demanded money anyway and showed up at the house with his girlfriend and a gun.
We opened the door with 4 of our guys with guns, and he's got a gun above his head. He's coming down with his gun. Christina saves his life by jumping in front of him.
Nobody was hurt, but they were both taken into custody.
You mute it.
Yeah, so we have this issue going down there in South Florida that no one's discussing, and I just don't understand it because, like, when DeSantis talked about it, he said that when he read the bill, it didn't say anything where you couldn't say anything about gay because that's one of their concerns, saying that they're going to get targeted and bullied and discriminated against if they put this rule into place. It doesn't say anything about that. It just say you can't talk about relationships with kindergartners. Why is that so hard to do? You're going to do all this boycotting because you want to be able to talk to kids about sexual orientation.
And it just opens up this big Pandora's box. Kindergarten, the kids could barely, they just learned their letters, A, B, C. So now you're going to switch it to where they just focus on 5 letters or however many there are, in there.
Yeah, it's hypocrisy. It doesn't make sense. Like I said, it just sounds like you're trying to recruit. I mean, there are certain situations. Like I said, people are going to talk about it because you're going to have 2 gay parents raising kids now. That's seem like the norm. And but my thing is, why would you even address it? Why would that even come up unless someone's talking about somebody? You know what I mean? If everybody's created equal, why bring it up? It's the same way with like skin color. Like, why would you bring that up if it wasn't an issue?
Right. Or it'd be like them bringing up in school like single mothers or something like that. Like what they're in kindergarten. What do they care? They're not thinking about that.
It's a mess, man. And another thing is, like, with one thing the lady, I'm gonna pull this up again. She didn't make any sense. Let me try to pull it up again.
No, that was crazy. The one girl, she jumped in front of her dude that had the gun. I'm like, man.
Now, if they was black, they would have been both killed. we both know that. You know what I mean? Like, you really allowed the dude to have a gun, and you ain't shoot him, but that's a whole nother show. All right, I'm gonna go back to her, and she's reading off a script, obviously, but
legislation happening in Florida and across other states as well that are targeting our LGBTQI plus communities. Many of our
all right, what other state has this legislation? I thought it was just Florida.
colleagues here at ESPN have planned and organized a walkout that will be happening at 3 p.m. Eastern today. And to be honest with you, we thought we were going to come here today and really celebrate a sport that has meant so much and done so much, including for so many in the LGBTQI plus.
And like I was saying to my other channel, when she's talking about the sport, she's talking about basketball. Most of the basketball players are gay.
Communities, but we understand the gravity of this legislation and also how it is affecting so many families across this country. And because of that, our allies.
How is it affecting them? I just don't understand.
I got a question. Is that low budget Angelina Jolie or something?
I don't know, but this is woke media right now. This is ESPN. They just these woke women infiltrated the whole group, and this is what we're getting. It's a shame.
Is going to take a front seat, and with that, we're going to pause in solidarity.
Look at the crowd. There ain't even nobody in the crowd. Who cares about female sports, man? I mean, not female sports per se, but like the basketball in general. You know what I mean? Well, they say if you go woke, you go broke.
Was that WNBA or was that college?
No, college. I was
I was,
college.
I was wondering why there was more than 300 people.
Right. But like I said, I ain't gonna get into the whole thing, but my thing is, like I said, I support the fact that you should not talk to kids about adult issues. You know what I mean? I just don't think you should do that.
Yeah, I agree. And the motives behind it. A lot of time, think about situations where people use something that seems good but with bad motives. So we have the Boy Scouts, we have these camps, we've seen like different homes for the youth. Like these predators are out here, and they're always trying to find some type of way under the guise of doing something good.
Had
You
your kids, had your way.
Yeah, they coming through windows. But
Yeah, but yeah, that's what's going on right there. And like I said, I support DeSantis on that situation, and hopefully other states can follow his lead on that.
Isn't he?
Real quick, that's what we talk about when it comes to the critical race theories, right? It's not the Now we both agree that um, critical race theory should be taught when you're older. It should be by choice. You know what I mean? If you want to learn that when you get older, when you can grasp the concept of what's going on, so be it. But this is what happens. So let's say the uh, the group want to get this critical race theory in schools. Then these other groups gonna say, well, no, I want to. You should learn about gay history. You should learn about Indian history. So it's just open up a Pandora's box of all this information that's not going to really help you when you grow up. You know what I mean? It's just propaganda. It's trying to get you to sway you a certain way, because when we look at every generation there's a gap. It's a difference. Like, we don't get along. I mean, we get along, but we see the world differently. Like, think about when the baby boomers was listening to the music, not even the group before that. When they were listening to jazz in the 40s and stuff like that, and then they start listening to Prince, they're like, what is this? Like, you know what I'm saying? They would never get it.
Right.
And just like we won't get the music that our kids listen to. And the easiest way, like, if they can't change our mind and we're stuck in our ways, the best thing to do is get our kids. And they got 12 years to do it. Because we're not really paying attention.
Well, the recruiting for school used to be just more so for getting factory workers and basically worker bees. But now the recruiting's being used in a different way to be able to move them towards where they want to be pushed in the culture socially. So it's a different shift, a different mindset, but using the same tactics.
And it's brilliant because if you get a majority because you don't need everybody. If you get a majority of people to think like that particular group, then they'll stay in power longer. Because it's all about power. You know what I mean? It's crazy. You know how much money that just from the juice, what we call it, the mandate, the government spent billions of dollars of advertising dollars to promote the juice. You know what I mean? Like, the decisions that they make with the resources that we have as Americans is ridiculous to me. They're even like with the war, they're sending all their money over there to Ukraine, right, to help them finance. They're financing this war.
Yeah. Well, it's pretty much just a proxy war for NATO, and they're sending this money over. Of course, over here we have people that are homeless. On one end, we got people who can't afford an education. On the other, we got people talking about their student loans are too high. We got people talking about the gas too high. I'm one of them. The gas is too high. I'm about to join that. I think there's a political party called the gas is too damn high. You ever see that, dude?
No, there's a solution to that. Get a Tesla.
I don't,
Get a Tesla, but
we
yeah,
ain't
it's
that, man.
you said you don't want one.
Well, I wouldn't mind having it as a choice, but I'm saying we're not ready for that. Can you imagine if everyone got one of those right now, and if we had the infrastructure we did, you wouldn't be able to charge your car at all, man.
It's
Unless
not
you,
about everybody getting it. It's about you getting. There's two things that happens in life, right? Either you're the shark or the fish.
Mhm.
It's got to be the shark.
Yeah. But anytime you eliminate choice and you just monopolize something, that's when it goes into scarcity. So if everybody all of a sudden they want pizza on the same day, there ain't going to be no pizza. So yeah, the sharks are going to get
Talking about you. Talking about the Thomas family. We ain't talking about everybody else. You know what I'm saying? You socialist now?
Nah, what I'm saying is that the choice, that's what, that's how capitalism works. Some people, if they want to get a Tesla, they get a Tesla. Some people, if they want a hybrid, they get a hybrid. If you want to, drive with your gas car, drive with your gas car.
All I'm saying is you wouldn't have a problem talking about you want to get in some gas political party if you use electric.
Man,
No?
take your
You are so old school. You know that? Like you never go with the times, man. Like
I had a hybrid before.
You got a record player in the car? I mean, in the house. You got CDs in the car?
But I used to drive a Prius. I mean, I liked it. You ever have a hybrid or anything like that? I think that there is probably the best way to go. Because
You got a 5-disc CD changer in your car?
my man had that in the trunk. That was awesome back in the day.
Do you have that now? That's the question.
Nah, not anymore. They don't make them anymore. My truck is probably one of the last things that have a CD player. It's a 2015. But other than that, I know about it. Next time I get a car, it's not going to have one.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah, but that's that, man. In that situation, one second, real quick. Yeah. So for the people who just joined us, man, hit that cash app, TNJRadio, right there. Once we get to 100, we'll drop the link. Drop the link. All right. So what about this DL Hughley situation we talking about over here? What's the real reason DL Hughley is beefing with Kanye? Now, for the people who don't know, Kanye was having issues with everybody. It's Kanye versus everybody. Everybody calling him crazy. And DL Hughley used his comedic timing and talked about Kanye, saying he's crazy. And then Kanye clapped back and basically said, I'll pull up. I know where you live. Calabasas. You got both sides that like like their group, they're coming after each other. You got Steve Harvey coming out saying, pull up, pretty much. They got goons too. Comedians they don't joke all like that, huh? They got goons too, huh?
Man.
Then you got Kanye's somebody that know Kanye is a rapper. He's out there clout chasing, faking like he pulling up on DL. He must got an album coming out.
Man, I had a whole different picture mentally of how that ended up going down. I thought he came up on DL like hey, or something, or he just got in his face. Man, your boy came around with that phone, all cheesy. He like
starstruck in the urinal.
Yeah, DL over there taking the piss.
Now, DL Hughley ain't all about jokes. He used to be a blood. He used to be in a gang. He's from LA, streets of LA. Small dude, just like Kanye. Kanye kind of short, But DL Hughley And just a little bit of background of him. He was cheating on his wife. I think he got another child from another woman that he don't raise, and all this good stuff, man. And there was an interview I watched him on today on Vlad, which I thought it was very hypocritical. And I might play it, just the audio. We shouldn't get dinged for that, right?
Yeah.
If it was just audio. But I just felt like it was so hypocritical what he's saying on this interview. You know, but like I said, I'm riding with Kanye, man, on this situation, because if he should be able to say what he want to do with his child, you know, and he never had a situation where he dealt like this, something like this before, you know. So everybody want to say he's crazy, but you didn't say he was crazy when he went on TV and said George Bush didn't like black people. Everybody was riding with him because he was saying what everybody was thinking.
Mm. Even the way that he said it, you know, he had it was like an abstract look to where if he were to say something else and do that same thing today, he'd probably try to say he's crazy.
Right. And this is what I was having a conversation with my mother. And anytime we talk about Kanye and Kim, they always want to say Kanye is crazy. Now, we both know that he should not have picked her. That was a stupid decision. And most men pick somebody that they should not be with. That is not abnormal. That is not abnormal, right? But no one says anything about Kim Kardashian's family. They're applauding her, clapping because she's rich. But her mother sold a sex tape with her daughter in it and made money for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Is that not crazy? Ask yourself, if that happened in your family, what would you say? That's prostitution, ain't it?
Man,
that's trafficking. Then Chris had a husband that turned into a woman. Are we serious?
Sound like a crazy family there.
But nobody want to address that because they don't like Kanye and this is why they don't like Kanye. Now, people love Kanye still. That's to show you the power of him. Like the new generation, they love Kanye. But they all didn't like it because he was next to Trump and he said how much he likes Trump. So they say he got to be crazy. But they don't understand, like, there's a lot of undercover African Americans that ride with him, like Shaq, Ray J. Ray J was just up at his place with Kodak Black in Florida. Like, they fronting for you, man. They fronting for the because it's an agenda.
Yeah, and it's a shame because it's the same playbook. Basically, you need to like who we tell you to like. You need to hate who we tell you to hate. That's actually what's going on right now with the Ukraine stuff. You know, I feel sorry for any innocents that are getting killed or hurt, but they have it to where we mentally are supposed to stop thinking about everything that we're thinking about. You need to stop thinking about putting food on the table. You need to stop thinking about your education, your school loans, and you need to focus on Ukraine. In fact, it took like 6 months for them to be able to get a bill out for like for the Cody for some relief, but they were able to get a bill out to be able to help Ukraine in a day. What are we doing here?
Yeah, it's crazy, and yeah, it's election year though too. So they know how to deflect and change the narrative to get you off of Biden, which ain't even speaking to the public.
Yeah, and a lot of people got to watch, man. The mainstream media, the majority of it's no more than just propaganda nowadays. They're pretty much sent there to keep you in line. So the mainstream media is telling you that, like, hey, you need to hate Trump, Kanye's crazy for liking him. Skeet, Pete, whatever, and Kim, those are the good guys. Like this is the stuff that they're telling you.
I hate
Yep. Hold on. Can you hear this?
Tupac was in the world, and I suffered.
Can you hear that?
Yeah.
I suffered a raging jealousy. I wanted Jada to look at me like that. I saw that. And the two of their relationship is so, I don't know, just you scratch your head because it almost seems like something bad happened between them, and she's going to publicly embarrass him over and over again until whatever's fulfilled in her heart.
I can tell you this. I've made so many horrible mistakes in my relationship. I'm in no position to talk, but I will say this.
Okay.
You're not fearing to tell my business on TV all the fucking time. I want to go on the red table. Hey, bitch, you better talk this kitchen table. You think we living this good because those set it off residuals? You think they making Nurse Hawthorne too?
Jason's lyric ain't
right? They ain't doing that again. And Tupac is dead. He is. So at a certain point, I think the grace that we generally extend to anybody else outside of our partners, we have a hard time extending to them. And there's a certain amount of grace you need to have with somebody who you taking vows to. There's a certain amount of grace you used to have. And that seems exactly ungrateful.
You hear this?
Yes, real quick. So if I'm hearing it right, DL saying we're supposed to have like a grace, for the people that we're married to. Okay, I just want to make sure, see how far this grace extends.
Yep. Hold on.
Down to the entanglement.
I'm like
August Alsina.
I'm not. There's a certain amount of like even if you can lie to protect too, right? Like you can go. I don't want.
I've done lots of that.
But if you just did fucking, I'm in no position to speak about somebody else's dynamic. I will say this again.
What?
A certain amount of grace.
Do you hear this?
To have with somebody that you've decided to marry and stay with and be intimate with. And there are things you can't unsee and things you need to give people grace. And if you don't, you can be honest but not brutal. Brutal and honesty don't go together. We put them in the same sentence, but now all of a sudden you really emphasizing the brutal. The honesty part is.
Well, I also feel that your personal relationships should be protected. You know what I'm
So Vlad says your personal relationships should be protected, but he talks about everybody's, and it's not everybody, just the black community. He's talking about their relationships to make money. He's from Russia, and he's even talking about the war. I didn't hear him say the war once on his interviews, but I'll keep going.
He on code.
I'm saying there's a reason why I've never specifically spoken about my personal relationships because I feel they should be protected. And I feel that
hypocrisy
used as promo or a revenue source or clout or whatever else you call it, because all that shit doesn't matter. Because at some point the lights will get turned off and the cameras will dim, and you have to still live with that person.
Yes.
You still have to relate to that person. So why put it all out there and use it as material and use it to advance your career and use it for other people's entertainment, because they're going to go on to something else the next day. Yeah. As exciting as the entanglement was that week, no one gave a shit a week later, but Will still got to live with that shit. He still has to see the comments.
You have to have a certain amount of grace with the person that you're intimate with, a certain amount of grace. And I can't say where the line is for a lot of people. Like, I tend to say things out loud because I don't want somebody else to come up and be saying I said something. I'll tell you, goddammit, this would happen.
Yeah.
And so when you've lived your life a certain way and start out a certain way, like, you got to kind of finish it that way. But I think, I don't understand what the need. I just think you have to have a certain amount of grace for people.
Yeah.
A certain amount.
Yeah, I'll end it right there. But isn't that a little bit hypocritical?
Yeah. He talking about he can't comment on what other people got going on.
Yeah, so that's why I said that's an agenda, what he's doing with Kanye West. because he don't like anybody who aligned with Trump. That's what it is. He gonna attack everybody. It's more political. He's been on political, like he used to be on CNN doing political comedy. He's riding with them. So, like I said, I think it's unfair for people to come out and criticize Kanye because he don't want his children on social media. He's in the house. He's seeing what Chris is doing to these kids. They all look different. Like they got the fake butt, the fake this, the fake that. Like they're not happy. Like people who don't have money, they're like, oh man, if I had this and if I had that, well, guess what? Once you have it, once you have money, it's like oxygen. You don't think about it when you got it. When you're eating, you don't care. You don't think about food. They've been rich for 20-something years. You get what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing else they can really get.
Yeah.
Well,
So
it's not the money thing. What you say?
They must have been rich longer than that. Yeah, I remember they was married to the OJ trial. Well, she was married to the OJ trial lawyer.
Yeah, but they ain't have money like this. They billionaires, man. Like billions. And Kanye's worth billions, And I just think it's a chess move. I mean, he's going to lose in the long run because the courts is not privy to men. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to support men no matter what, no matter how much money you got, and we can see it here.
Right.
He's going to lose this battle, but it's really none of our business, like you said. Like, I mean, obviously we're talking about it because we trying to, we clout chasing. That's what we do. But for DL, that was very hypocritical statement there.
Yeah, and this really goes out to a lot of youth now. It's going to be hard to be able to make those type of changes, but I don't know who to reach out to. I want to say reach out to politicians, but I don't even really think they care because behind them, there's money and organizations that are supporting this stuff. Like there's a vested. Everyone has an interest in something, and I believe that there's an interest in keeping that balance out of the family.
Yeah, I mean, you got to blame men, man. We got enough information now. You got the great Kevin Samuels out there in the manosphere talking about this stuff. Most people, we're just hurt, flawed individuals. You know what I mean? Who want some attention. So there's people that you shouldn't be messing with, but as soon as someone give you attention, you never know what you're going to do. You know what I mean? Like look at like you got to think a lot of these men who are not athletes, because athletes is a different ball game. They got everything they wanted since they was little. People invested in them. And then when you got the men in college, like the fraternity guys, they get basically the second pickings in college. They get anything they want. But when you get someone like a Kanye West who might be a geek and nobody was paying them attention, and then all of a sudden now you get all this fame, and you get anything you want at this point. Not to mention you got a drinking problem probably. No one understands you, and you have this God complex. So that's I don't think he's sick. I just think he has this God complex because, there were certain things that people didn't believe he can do, and he's doing it. Like if you're getting them wins like that, you feel like you could do anything.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I hope it works out good because that anything don't include fathers and kids. It's either luck of the draw or money can have some sort of a dynamic, but in this case where they both got money, in fact, you know what? Sometimes the money don't even matter, right? Because let's say that you have $1 million and she don't have nothing, and you go to court, they're going to make you pay for her attorney.
Yeah. and you're going to give her way more money because they want an equal lifestyle to the child, you know. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you're still going to have to pay. But one thing I did notice though, people call people crazy, the people who follow Christ. You know, I know there's one guy, I forgot his name. He's from Michigan. He was an actor. Now he's a comedian, and he basically quit the industry, and he's following God, and people saying he's crazy. You know what I mean? Like I forgot his name. I have to look it up. He was on Lottery Ticket.
Wow. I didn't hear about that, but yeah, and it's going to happen more. I mean, you know, I don't know where people are, you know, but you know, me as a Christian, you know, my faith is where it is, you know, but
that's why most people who have a certain faith, that they'll keep quiet. They'll deny Christ. You know what I mean? And he said that you know, people's going to deny him because you use that word, you use truth, you're hated. You're hated. You're the most hated person ever. You know what I mean? People died in these other countries saying their faith is in Jesus. What is his name? Hold on, I'm listening.
Oh no, that's cool. Well, I mean, he said they hated me, they're going to hate you too. So, but
I think his name's Brandon T. Jackson. He's like a big. He follows God. I don't know if he's a big Christian, but I know Bow Wow. I don't mess with him anymore. And he did a couple movies with Bow Wow. Like they were really tight. Like I think they did Roll Bounce together and Lottery Ticket. And he's speaking out on the industry, and everybody trying to say he's crazy. That's the number one target. Like if you say truth, then they have to discredit your credibility. You know, and in order to get people to ignore what you're saying. You know, and ever since, like I said, ever since Kanye been saying the truth about the industry, and he was saying, you know, because they were like, "You're not for the culture. You're not for the culture." And what he said was, "I don't want to be for the culture." He said, "All y'all do, y'all culture is," and this is the hip hop culture he's talking about. He said the hip hop culture is about chasing women, like worshiping women, and buying foreign cars. And he was like, "You know, America is for sale." And this is what I be trying to tell people too. Like, I remember Morgan Freeman said this at an interview, and people just ignore it. Back in the day, it was different. You know, the red line, and we always talk about, you know, that discrimination. But right now, America is for sale. These old people are dying off. It's a big transfer of wealth. That's why so many people is in the financial industry right now as we speak, because them old people are dying, and we are still, you know, we're still racist in this country, but it's less racist in this country right now. You know what I mean? There's opportunities in this country right now. People are getting in that water and trying to die to come over here. You know what I'm saying? And Kanye was trying to stress to this, and God forbid something happened to him, because if something happened to him, and that's what happens when you have a leader. When a leader die, everybody wanna you know, celebrate them because he's not a threat to anybody anymore. It's about the threat.
you remember Kanye was talking about the 13th Amendment, and I mean, for those of you who don't know, I mean, yes, slavery was supposedly ended, but if you get put in jail, it says that they can legally put you back into slavery.
You're a slave. You can't vote. You can't do nothing. You know, and we can, like I said, we can keep blaming. I mean, this is what I like about him, because he's like, stop. You remember when he said that statement on TMZ when he was like, you know, like, we're still slaves, and they were like, why would he say that? I'm like, no, he's telling the truth. We're talking about mental slavery at this point.
Right.
We're not talking about back then. We're talking about now. It's different.
It's funny you say that. Even though it could be expanded bigger, I always said that the Democrat Party is and always has been the party of slavery, They just switched from physical over to mental.
Well, they went back to physical, if you ask me, when Biden locked everybody up. Now this is what I call mentally ill. This is real talk here. We all know if you like the bill or not. Biden wrote the bill. Bill Clinton signed it, and it was a mass incarceration for Black people. We know that in our lifetime, right?
Mm-hmm.
Trump let everybody out, a lot of the people out. He signed a bill, and then he allowed them to vote. The people who came out from jail, they signed, they basically voted for the person that put them in there. Is that not a problem?
Can't make this stuff up, huh?
Like nobody sees this. You know what I mean? Like, and the worst thing you say is, well, that dude is worse. He could have got us in the everything that's happening now. He said is happening under this guy.
Right. The truth is that basically Biden is everything you thought Trump was going to be.
Unbelievable. You know, and that's why I said I respect him on that. I mean, obviously I wouldn't move the way he's moving, but I don't have $1 billion either. And anytime like someone is winning like this and from the decisions he's making, who am I to criticize what he's doing? Because apparently he knows what he's doing. You know?
You got that hold up, wait a minute on there?
No.
Be like, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Right, man. So it just only makes sense. But let's talk about this real quick. You know, this discrimination, is discrimination a good thing? You know, we talked. We you know, we're talking about, you know, religion, and we're talking about you know, the bill that they're doing with the gays and the LGBTQ, and you know, we want to ask this question: is discrimination a good thing? Can it be good?
I think that that's a very important thing. I think that a lot of people don't even know what discrimination even means. And you know, whenever I think of discrimination, or at least when I was coming up, I was thinking of discrimination as always like racial profiling, or, you know, something of the sort, you know, like that. But you know, discrimination, even though they put this as the secondary definition, it should really be the primary, which is the recognition and understanding of the difference between one thing and another. It's a survival tactic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you see a dog coming, you know, running towards you, your initial thought for most people is dogs are danger. Mm-hmm. Now, the dog might just be fine, might come and try to lick you or something, but you don't want to sit there and take the chance, you know.
Right.
Unless you're a dog person.
I think even when it comes to women's sports, which I am supporting transgenders playing sports, women's sports, I want them to take over. I hope there's a 7-foot transgender to go in the WNBA and beat on them and break all their records. That's what they get.
Man.
That's what I want.
So you just like burn it all down, huh?
Burn it all down. I hope they break all their records, racing, everything. You know, but the women should have discriminated against them so to keep their sport holy, if you will. Can't say holy with a WNBA, but you know, it's like me, like, hey, we can't play kids sports, you know? Isn't that discrimination? I want to play in the YMCA with some young kids I can overpower, but you can't do that.
Man.
Oh, I would drop 40 and 40. 40 and 20 easy. Or from 10-year-old.
Man.
But then what you were saying when you was reading the definition, they're changing the language to win this war. Like they're moving the goalpost.
Yeah. if you can control the language, that's how you can control any type of group of people. I think of that movie 1984 where they were trying to control, what they controlled the language, they controlled math, everything. So discrimination, as being bad, like we know that there is racial discrimination, things like that, but ultimately in the big picture, you have to have it, there to be able to protect certain things. For example, when you leave your car, every time you lock the door on your car, you're exercising discrimination against all the other people in the world.
Yep, because when I see a white woman walk by, I hit the lock like doo doo. Can't trust those Karens. But even like when someone's dating your kids get into dating, you're going to discriminate on certain people. This is going to do that. You know what I mean? So I feel like it can be a good thing too. There's always going to be that window, of
some of y'all where it hurts. Some of y'all old people watching. I'm discriminating on y'all's chitlins. That stuff is gross.
Think of a whole house.
Yeah, all this wall in the plate. If I smell in the house, I'm probably stepping out.
So some lady. When I was working down here, this old lady, she had to be like 70-something years old. She was still working, and we're sitting there, and the shift was about to be over. So we just hanging out, and they were talking about chitlins, and she was like cooking. She was like, "Girl, boy, I'm about to put them chitlins on tonight," and the 40 slip just happened with me. So I wasn't even in a conversation. I was like, that slave food. Oh man, you thought I'm down deep south. They turned around and she said, "Fool." She's like, "That's the dumbest thing I ever heard." So it hurt my feelings when she said this. So I kept on proceeding to like, "Nah, it's slave food." I'm like, she's like, "Where you from?" Like, "I'm from up north." And then she like, "Oh, okay." I'm like, that's slave food, But when you said chitlins, that's why I was like, yeah, they came after me, man. They discriminated against me. They wasn't even talking to me after that. I saw her at the store the other day. She just walked by me. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, we have weight classes in sports. There's all sorts of things. You discriminate against you can't take enhancement drugs. To be able to help yourself in your sport.
Right. Yeah. So, there's a takeover, man, that we need to be aware of as well, but, guess we're going to end it on that, man. Good show. Is there anything else you want to say to the people?
Yeah, definitely. Guys, I would say just wake up. If you're seeing this stuff with the wars and rumors of wars, you need to look at what is the angle, going on. It's when it comes to the mainstream media, just sit there and think to yourself, what would happen if I did the opposite of what they say to do? I'm not saying to necessarily do that, just at least think about it. But that, that's my final thought.
Definitely hit us with the Cash App, TNJRadio, and if you don't stand for something, you fall for anything. We out.